Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of our Case IH farm. I'm looking at a brand new, very old, very rusty and vintage mod here. This is this is a fuel tank. So you come over here, you press R, and you buy however much diesel you want. You can buy just a couple liters. And you can buy up to, looks like 2,629 is what it holds. I think I'm going to go with 500 liters for now. And I don't know if all the tractors run on that. The truck's full. These guys are kind of busy over here. But I think no, that one's good. Let's try the 1206 here and see if it will, because it's low on fuel, so we'll see if it will accept it. This will be our test. We're not using our equipment storage very well, are we? It's literally empty. Oh gosh. I hope everybody is doing well. Our last episode of this series was really well received, and I just want to say thank you to everybody, not only for watching, but for liking and commenting. And we've been getting new subscribers, and that means a lot to me. If you've followed my YouTube journey, I've been making content for a long time and not always successfully, so it really does mean a lot to me. Oh, there we go. It took it. Okay, great. And just having a measure of success, knowing that people are interested in watching what I have to do, what I'm doing on here, really is really fun. So thank you again for that. If you have friends who would like this, would like the playthrough, feel free to continue sharing it, and I'll continue making it. So it will come as no surprise to anybody who watched the last episode that we still have more work to do here with this field, and that's pretty much what we're gonna spend our time doing. Finish this up, and also do some baling, get the straw baled up. I would love to be able to get as far as the straw, a load of straw into the barn by the end of this episode, but that's pretty much wishful thinking, because we're going to spend every bit 15 minutes just harvesting before we even get to the baling. So I had an experience the other day that I wanted to share with you guys, for those of you that are paying attention and care about this kind of stuff, where I was playing on my Ford farm. That you may have seen a few episodes of that before I decided to shut that one down. But I played the whole half-hour episode before I realized that my recording was in the wrong aspect ratio. So, word to the creators out there: double and triple check that, because you don't want to miss out. I mean, ultimately, I didn't lose anything because I spent a half hour playing Farm Sim, one of my favorite things to do. So on a personal level, it doesn't really bother me, but on the creative level, missing that part of the storyline, I feel like sort of hindered the playthrough, and I didn't really, I couldn't revert the save, nor did I want to do the same thing again. That was a save that the map corrupted and hurt it. So I took it as a sign. Sometimes when you're playing games or creating or whatever, sometimes you get this little bit of a nudge that says, all right, keep these two farms going and let the Ford one go. So moving forward, I think what we're going to do is we're gonna have this Case IH dairy farm, and then we're gonna have the John Deere farm. And some of you might be fans of the horse farm that I have going on the Frankenmuth, Michigan map. I would like to keep that, but I think what I'm gonna do with that save, rather than the storyline, I think what I might do is just package the projects. So, like, in this episode, we're building, a horse stable. And this, and then in the next one, it'll be like selling our horses after 6 months of raising them, you know, so that the story will kind of stand on its own a little bit better. At least that's my hope. That series, for whatever reason, hasn't caught on quite like the other ones, and I think that the viewership on this series and the John Deere one are a little more similar because they are both vintage, and that horse farm isn't vintage; it's modern, and I don't think that worked in the way that I thought it was going to, which is fine. Like I said, in the last episode of the John Deere farm, it's all a learning experience, and I'm having fun learning both about YouTube as well as about farming and creativity. It's good. So yeah, this model here is the International 1420, and I like it that it has this kind of, I don't know exactly when it's from, but I would guess late 70s, early 80s, maybe as late as the mid 80s, but just kind of reminds me of the equipment that I saw a lot growing up. Love this model. I think I mentioned in the last episode that I'm pretty sure this was a Giants model from an earlier version of the game. So whoever brought it to FS22 just did a conversion. But even still, I love seeing all the mechanical parts and everything. It's a really expertly designed machine. I think sometimes we take for granted how impressive agriculture machines really are. I mean, they feed us, right? They feed our our animals that we consume, and they straight up feed us. The grain that a machine like this would have produced, like, if you grew up in the 80s like I did, and you ate cereal like I did, there's a really good chance that the cereal you ate was harvested by a machine very similar to this, the grain, which I think is really kind of neat. Pretty cool. I know half of you are like, wow, that's interesting. I never really thought about that. And the other half are like, what are you going on about, dude? Just play the game. Although that half probably uh, probably muted me long ago, and they're just watching the video on like 2x speed. They turned it into their own time lapse. They want to watch the vintage equipment, but they don't want to listen. I'm just kidding. I'm sure you all love it. So, do we sell the grain off the field? I haven't sorted that out yet. Actually, while this is unloading, let's take a gander here. So, barley. So, what does it say? It's 542, which is not great. What are we in? June. We're in June. So it's here-ish. If we wait a couple months, it drops. So we could just sell it here, be done with it, don't worry about it. Wheat is right here in the middle as well. We wait. Let's just do a little simple math here. If we have 14,000, so it's going to be 15,000 liters that we're going to have. I think what we do is sell this off the field. And then, so it'll be 2 loads of this so that we just sell off the field. And then we hold that in the truck for a while. That's what I think we do. Boy, look how crooked these rows have got. My goodness. What kind of drunken harvester driver did we have here? It's funny to see how it goes, though. Like, that outside row is straight. And then I must have, like, compensated a little bit, like I just did there. And then the next row I compensated a little bit, and the next one, and the next one. Before you know it, I have an actual turn in a straight field. Don't drink and farm, kids. That's the moral of this story, I guess. Well, I missed a spot, and then I went back and tried to correct, and I think that caused the turn. Too much BSing, not enough paying attention to where I'm going. Not the first time in my life that has happened, I will readily admit. I do wonder what percentage of my viewers are people that know me IRL. Because I would say when I started YouTube, the percentage was probably pretty high. But a fair number of you guys, I think, actually just found me through the internet. They just found the channel. But people that know me IRL would not be at all surprised that I chat a lot, talk a lot. So we don't even have a half an hour on this machine yet. But we're getting close. I think we'll break up the monotony here by taking this load up to sell. I know right now getting money for this stuff doesn't feel super rewarding because we have so much money, but that's going to change. That's definitely going to change. This will not be a wealthy playthrough for very long. Most of the time when I play this game, what I end up doing is... Oh, no. Is some sort of like save the farm kind of thing where I'm in huge amounts of debt. So it's actually quite fun to have the cash to be able to be like, oh, that new tractor came out. Which, by the way, I know some of you are probably expecting this episode to have a new tractor because the 540, no, 450, sorry, the 450, Farmall 450 is for sale, is on the Mod Hub now. So yes, I will get it. Now, I believe it's probably that one. cooperative. Start overloading. There we go. I'm gonna say 4,500. Which is not a lot when you consider how much we spent on equipment, but every little bit, right? You love to see it. Oh, 8,000. Man, my math was terrible there. Because wasn't it... Well, I guess it was 570, so that's... Yeah. Oh well. We'll take it. We'll take 8,000. This truck sounds so loud because I always drive it floored. If you drive it at a civil pace, you won't run into that. Always been an issue with me, driving a little too aggressive for the situation. In real life, problem. On video games, not a problem. Let's see if we can get a nice... that could work. In a pinch. Screenshots are a big deal for YouTubers. And let me tell you, just another, creators aside here. Which, by the way, there's no way we're getting the bailing done this episode. But another creators aside here. You guys, I'm telling you, do not click if it's a lackluster thumbnail. It is a noticeable difference. If I just do like a still shot from the playthrough, it can be the exact same everything else, but just a still shot. I mean, it is laughable how much less it gets clicked. And because of that, it doesn't get pushed up on the algorithm as much, so the views are like terrible. All I need to do to change that is alter a thumbnail a little bit. Just put a piece of vintage equipment on there with the little vintage Case IH playthrough, and it brighten it up a little bit usually, and it does so much better. Kind of crazy. And this is why YouTubers say all the time, like, thanks for the views and likes and all of that, because the way YouTube looks at it, if you're like, you usually watch Squad and you usually watch Sim Farmer and you usually watch me, whatever the combination is, then YouTube gets in its mind like, okay, people who like Farming Simulator and a specific style of Farming Simulator videos will like Bluebelly's videos. And so it will push it out to those people. That's why I say, I always say, if you have friends that are interested in the same thing, feel free to recommend my stuff to them, because what we really need to help our channels is people that genuinely like this. Like, sometimes people will get it in their head that it's a good idea to have a ton of new subscribers, like, but I don't want people who are interested in other games to watch my videos. I want people who like Farm Simulator to watch my videos. I want people who are interested in tractors to watch my videos. I want people who are interested in simulation gaming to watch my videos. if somebody watches it out of like pity for me or something, and they don't actually care, let's do a lap the other way just for something different. If they just watch it because they're like, oh, he's a nice guy, or my friend told me about him, but they like if you share this with a friend who doesn't like farming and they don't like simulation games, and they click on it and watch like the first 30 seconds, they're like, this guy, I don't want to watch this. I don't care about old school tractors. That's not great for me. Even though it's a view, it tells the algorithm that this is not interesting to that person, and people like that person. At the point of like one viewer, it doesn't really matter, but if that happens with 100 people and a bunch of them click away after 20 seconds, then YouTube is like, this is not a good video. People don't want to stick around. There's so much to it. There's a lot more to it than I thought when I first got into creating. Well, this was a miscalculation here. I thought that I could make it around back. I figured I'd at least get close, right? Like, isn't the math that we were at 60% after doing a down and back? So logic told me that we could at least make it like partially down this way. Logic was not accurate. So now I get to drive the truck into the field. Drive the truck into the field. Look how close we are. Gosh, this video. I feel like to finish this, should I do a finishing the job? This kind of thing right here is precisely why I started doing finishing the jobs. Because I know the length of the video is getting to a certain point. To finish what we have left is probably 10 minutes, maybe? Nah, 8 minutes. But will it make the current video too long? Who knows? Does this bother you, by the way? Having the truck the wrong way? Would you have preferred that I turned around? I did a screenshot, like, literally 2 years ago on FS19. And I shared it on Reddit. Reddit, the place with all the experts in the world. And people went batty that I had the trailer going the wrong way. Like, okay, in an ideal world, yeah, you probably do turn around, but if it's under the auger, who cares what way it's facing? I just don't understand. Further, I don't understand Reddit, like why people care so much about a screenshot of a video game that's not even competitive. Just you are moving the pixels in the wrong way, Pixel Man. So now what do we do? Down and back? What? Why am I missing these little snippets here? This is why this job is taking forever. I am a failure as an operator. This is one job I never got to do in real life, and I would imagine it's probably pretty stressful. Because if you miscalculate and ruin your harvest, this is like money. We're dealing with your livelihood. Whether you're using the grain to feed animals or sell, it's money. This is the product. This is what all the plowing and the cultivating and the planting and the fertilizing and the tending and all of it is so that you can do this. So if this part is done wrong, it's just destroying money. But I bet when the yield is good, I bet this is such a thrill in real life. Like just looking through the little window behind you, watching it fill up, thinking, "Yeah, dude, we're killing it with the amount of yield we have this year." That would be, I think that would be a rush. Okay, well, I think what I'm gonna do is why? Oh, I see. I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and end this episode here for you guys, and I will either do this off stream or I'm off video or as a finishing the job. And in the next one, maybe we do some baling. Maybe we get the 550, 5 6 5 4 450. Whatever. You know what I mean. Maybe we get the other tractor soon and add on some extra jobs. Keep advancing the farm. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Blue Belly, and I play simulation games, including Farming Simulator. Bye for now.